It's 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Time to go running. Welcome to Prepper Nation. I'm John. Thank you very much for watching, for shooting a thumbs up, for hitting subscribe on the channel. Truly appreciated. This is the rundown. This is our afternoon show where we go over the comments, both the live chat comments from this morning and the comments that were left by the replay crowd. I got to tell y'all about a $1 million setup over here, but I'm going to tell you after we go over the comments, okay? And hopefully this video is able to post by 3 o'clock. I'm trying really hard for this video not to be late. It's been crazy today. Let's jump straight into it with the live chat this morning. Art Nanny, Turkey just warned Israel's citizens to get out. So Turkey, according to this comment, is basically saying that they're siding with Hamas and things are getting ready to get red hot. I think Israel's prepared for this. I was telling Forrest in chat this morning, Israel's talking about a 3-front war, which tells me that they're anticipating a 3-front war. This won't be the first time they've had to do it. And I believe it's also why they have moved so much armor around and they've got so many reserves being called up and everything. So again, it's either 107. I should have looked this up. It's either 170,000 or 175,000. That's the regular army strength of Israel, but they've now called up 375,000 reservists. Pretty much most of the fighting age men in their country, and they are preparing for something big. I don't think it's just Gaza. I think they're anticipating a lot more than just going in house to house, Gaza Strip. I do think that they believe Turkey, Egypt, maybe. Thank you for that, Warlord. That text earlier. They're anticipating more countries getting involved, in my opinion. Coach, militant, grow food and stack ammo. This is how gnarly it's getting in the Middle East and how much of an effect it's having around the world. Usually militant just says grow food. That's his comment. That's his go-to comment. Now it's grow food and stack ammo. Even militant knows right now stack ammo as well because bad times are coming. Cogito, peaceful protests are fine, but people take advantage of it. Yeah, and that's something that we need to be on the lookout for. I don't know which major cities here in the United States. I anticipate New York City and DC because the squad, I really hate that term, the squad. Can we please just start calling them for what they really are? They are underachieving junior congresswomen who hate the United States of America. I hate calling them the squad. You see that in mainstream media all the time because it sounds like a superhero name or something. They don't deserve much credit at all. They really haven't done anything, but I digress. The point is they're going to be spearheading some of these protests in our country, but these scheduled protests on Friday are worldwide. So a lot of other major cities around the world as well. And getting to your point, Cogito, sometimes both sides plan to be peaceful, but you will have a group that infiltrates one side or the other and intentionally causes chaos. You know what I mean? Pallets of bricks begin to show up out of the blue. Medics are at the back of these protests. Why? How did they get there? Nobody can explain it. So never let a good crisis go to waste. And I don't think that our globalist friends, they're not our friends, folks. That's why I'm doing what is that, the air quotations or whatever. They're not going to let a good crisis go to waste. Randy, the Middle East has always been a powder keg. It has. But right now we're looking at something historic. Somebody this morning said the next Crusades. It's on that level. We've never seen Israel's been involved with a lot of wars. and we've never seen the level of mobilization that we're seeing right now in Israel. So something huge and historic is on the horizon. I'm going to try and pronounce this Zephaniah. I think I said that right. This is a holy war, and it is more serious. That's the point I was trying to make kind of this morning, is that people are tribalized on this, like your protesters and your counter protesters. Anytime you get into the scripture or you get into religious beliefs, people are not willing to compromise. And when you have two groups that are very irritated and very aggressive about how they're protesting, and neither one are willing to compromise, again, potential chaos. Cody V, we may see Freddy Krueger this Friday. No Cody V. Even Freddy Krueger at this point in 2023 has moved out of the cities. Even that Freddy Krueger, the man in the Christmas sweater and the gloved hands and stuff, even he's homesteading right now. He's done got out, son. He's done got out. He realizes total chaos in cities. It always happens in the cities, right? Army vet girl, don't look for the cavalry to save you. No. And here's the thing. First of all, no one's on the hook to save you. But even if they did, do you want the United Nations or the Red Cross to come in and save you? Is that really what you want? Because we know who's behind, these larger organizations. I don't want globalists to come in and save me and tell me exactly what I need. To me, that's not freedom, and I'm just not down with that. I would rather prepare on my own. No J in DOJ. Still love the name, by the way. We have enough problems. We should stay out of it. We should, and that's the point that I've been talking about for the past couple of days, okay? I get that it's a powder keg over there. I get that war crimes have been committed, probably on both sides, if I'm, being objective about it. But I don't like the idea of the United States getting involved. We got too many problems here at home. The same thing I was saying about Russia and Ukraine. Just keep our stuff at home. I get that Israel's an ally, but Israel has mobilized. They're anticipating a three-front war. They believe they know what they're getting into here. We really, really, really have got to stop with this constant need for war when it comes to the United States of America. I don't even know what this country would look like if we weren't involved in a war somewhere. I don't understand why we constantly, I guess the military complex, the industrial complex, all of these people that make money and bribe politicians, lobby lobbyists, right? But they're bribing politicians. I guess that's why, but it just gets old. I don't want to see any more of our soldiers have to go and be messed up by the horrors of war in another foreign nation. It gets old after a while. It kind of wears on you. Not even the funding part. I don't want to fund another war either, right? It's bad enough to be paying the level of taxes that we're paying. But when you're watching it fund another war, I saw a photo last night, a meme, and it showed rockets coming from Gaza to hit Israel, and it showed rockets coming from Israel to hit Gaza, and there were arrows pointing at both, and it said American taxpayer money. We're paying for both sides of this war. It just gets old. It does. Jump into the replay crowd. Outlaw Farms. A lot of people going to be caught with their pants down. They are. And it's unexcusable at this point. If you're not a prepper at this point, if you haven't spent a few dollars and a few hours thinking about the future, then man, you're on your own. I ain't trying to help non-preppers anymore because I don't know what their switch on moment is. It took a tornado for me, I'll admit it, but that's a tornado. We're sitting on the back end of a pandemic with an economy that's off the rails, getting ready to crash, and we're knee deep in World War III. No end in sight. Election chaos. Again, the squad, right? We've got American haters in our Congress. What a difference since 2001. When you get right down to it, the 9/11 attacks, what a difference a couple of decades makes, right? The Twin Towers gets hit. These people, our government, who was probably behind it, but they pointed the finger at these individuals. And here we are a couple of decades later, and they're leading these people in protests out in the streets in New York City. I mean, it really drives the point home. Cuba Grizz has a different theory. We were talking about the theory that Prepper Truckin and I had put together, mostly him, this morning, but Cuba Grizz has a different theory. Put America into a war on multiple fronts and then activate the fighting age illegals that are already here in our country. And you know what? That theory, it makes sense too. There are a lot of fighting age males here in our country that we know nothing about. These folks could very well be sleeper cells. At the end of the day, it don't matter if they're wearing a mask or if they're wearing a blue helmet. You know, if they come for me and mine, we're gonna split hairs over it. I'll put it to you like that. Um, Todd and Prepared, both sides are guilty. Look up history. There ain't no doubt. Todd and Prepared, there's no doubt about that. You know, this has been happening for thousands of years. There's no way either side has clean hands after thousands of years. But again, you know, I take the position that if you're hurting kids, I don't support you. And if both sides are doing it, at this point, I don't support either side. I just don't want to see Americans sent over there. I don't want to see American money sent over there. I don't want this war to be used by globalists to take my freedoms away. Um, Hopefully that makes sense. JW Survival, when everything is rubble, what then? And he went on to say, you know, what's the point of destroying everything? JW, I don't think they're going to destroy everything. I think globalists are okay with collateral damage in areas they don't really care about. They don't care if the Middle East gets ruined. If they can use the Middle East to make gains on Agenda 30, they don't care about the Middle East, brother. They'll level all of it. They'll watch it be torn down to the ground. At the end of the day, they have a long-term strategy, and that is to depopulate, and that is to get us into 15-minute cities and get us connected nonstop digitally to the grid. And they're not going to stop until they achieve that. Backcountry preps, more division incoming. That's the thing, brother. I'm glad you get this. This argument between Israel and Palestine, it's just something else that is dividing the country. It's dividing conservatives right now here in the United States of America. And these people, these vampires in Switzerland, as I like to call them, they'll use anything they can to divide people. Because when people are divided, people are infighting. They're fighting one another, and they're not looking at the vampires in Switzerland. You understand? That's the real problem. That's where 90% of the world's chaos comes from. But as long as we're infighting back and forth and arguing about, you know, the stuff we see on TV, we're not directing our attention at the real threat. Excellent comment, man. Jane Kelly, my fear is rural America will have to hold the line. That should be the fear of blue helmets or these fighting age men that are coming in that could be activated. I'm not afraid for rural America. I know what's going to happen. If the blue helmets come in and they try to peacekeep and police, that may fly in Chicago. That may fly in San Francisco and New York City. It ain't going to fly around here. I can promise you that. And there are places a lot more rural than this where it's, I promise you, not going to fly. So it should be a concern of theirs. It's not a concern of mine. Michael S., forget Ukraine. Let's help Israel instead. Can you imagine being Zelensky right now? It's almost like Zelensky got dumped on prom night. You know, Zelensky is dancing with Joe Biden, which in itself is a horrible, horrible thought, visual picture. I shouldn't have went there, son. I apologize. I apologize. But seriously, you're dancing with Joe Biden, and then Joe Biden and the people pulling Joe Biden's strings they see something more attractive because, again, these people want chaos. So they see the chaos in the Middle East, and to them, this is a better looking broad, so to speak, right? And they're just like, Zelensky, I'm going to get some lemonade, son. I'll be back. And they just never come back. And Zelensky's sitting there, he's got his dancing shoes on. He's wearing a cheap tuxedo that was probably also paid for by the American taxpayer. And now he's just watching Joe Biden and globalists dancing with Israel. And he's like, man, I just got dumped. I just got dumped. I can't imagine being that guy. Sam 2943. And this drives it home as well. Joblessness, no food, power outages, water outages, and unclean water. The C-19 once again coming back like a boomerang. Election problems. That's what we're facing for the next year or so here in the United States. That's not even counting the war in the Middle East, right? The war in the Middle East, you may see conscription, you may see a tax increase, you're probably going to see shortages and the price of oil and stuff going through the roof. But just the stuff Sam 2943 pointed out, it ain't going to be a good year for the old United States of America. It's just not going to be. So excellent comment. So let me tell y'all about the $1 million setup over here real quick. I've been for the past few weeks. I want to give y'all an update. Got a terrible comment yesterday, and this guy has a YouTube channel. I pinned the comment, so you can go back if you're interested in the comment. I replied and everything, but I pinned it to the top. And somebody had left a question about if y'all will remember on the rundown, because we covered the question on the rundown. Hey, if I'm on Social Security, how do I get rid of the banking system? How do I? And I tried to answer it to the best of my ability. Okay. But this cat comes in and he's a YouTuber himself. And he comes in and he's just bashing YouTubers. He's like, they're not going to John's not going to answer your question here. He's not here for that. He's here for the sponsorship money because apparently it rains out of the sky. He's here for the clicks. He's here to talk at you rather than talk to you. And it's a very disrespectful comment. Then he threw the thumbs up because that's the authority on YouTube. Threw the old thumbs up emoji. So let me explain to y'all. I've been for the past few weeks talking back and forth with the Goldback company. They sell Goldback, goldback.com. And I was kind of on the fence about this. I love the product. I get a good vibe from these people. Up till this point, I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be that guy. I've went out of my way to not have sponsors on this channel. I've lost probably I'm not kidding on this, tens of thousands of dollars potentially because I've turned down sponsorship deals. I could have had free generators. I could have had there's a company that was looking for sponsorship for a yurt. A yurt. One of the not $100,000 yurts, like a $12,000 yurt. We'll send you a yurt. You get on here, you shill it for us. I checked the reviews. This thing was horrible. Not going to do it. Check the reviews on these generators. Not going to do it. It's a terrible product. Survival food companies lining up. Please help us sell our stuff. It's overpriced. It's decent food. It's overpriced. I don't buy it now. I'm not going to try and sell it to other people. But Go Back is different because I'm already stacking it when I can afford to. It's entry level. It's like $4 a pop. So I get a few every month. I usually get them on eBay, though. I'll shoot straight with y'all. But anyway, seeing that comment and realizing no matter what I do, I literally run a show in the afternoons covering the stuff that people are talking about because I actually care over here. Seeing that comment just for me, it pushed me off the fence. I'm going to take this sponsorship deal, I think. And that's going to be the one and only sponsor on this channel. And again, it's a product I'm already stacking. and it's a product that's very affordable, and I feel good talking about it because I think it is a workaround to the digital reset. So I think I'm gonna do it, and if people wanna think bad of me because of that, they already think bad of me apparently. So I don't know, but, I had to apologize. I had to apologize to the guy because he wanted to call the CEO now. This is a multi-million dollar company. The CEO wanted to call and chat yesterday, and I said, "I can't. Brother, I would love to, but I'm sitting in a parent pickup line right now. I can't have this conversation right now." So it's scheduled for tomorrow afternoon, after my kids are out of school, right? But I mean, it's just crazy. You see these comments hating on me and hating on other YouTubers, and I don't know what their experience was with other channels. I don't know, man. Some channels got 20 or 30 sponsors, I guess. I don't really know or care. But I'm looking at all of the money that I've lost. I don't need the income from YouTube, son. I I've written I'm not bragging here, but I've written enough books to the point where I don't even have to write anymore. And the residual income is enough because again, I ain't living in $1 million house. I don't live lavish over here. But apparently, some people watching the channel that leave these comments think I'm living in luxury over here. Like I have $1 million setup. Like I'm not sitting here with a budget laptop, wires running all over the place. They're everywhere. I don't know what I'm doing over here half the time. But I know that I'm not going to chase money away anymore for the sake of people just slapping me in the face and saying that I'm doing it anyway. So, folks, I'm probably going to have a sponsor on this channel moving forward. I told them, you're not running advertisements over here. We'll get together. We'll have one video where we have a conversation. We explain, go back to people. If you're interested, great. If you're not, great, whatever. From there on, there will be an affiliate link down below the videos. That's it. That's it. So I just wanted to shoot straight with y'all. I'm not trying to waste your time. Thank you very much for the comments. Again, I do read those. That's why this afternoon show exists. Y'all take care and God bless.